Continuing coverage this morning of the war in Israel. Overnight, we learned at least 2,100 people have died across Israel and Gaza. Now Israel is striking back at Gaza, demolishing entire neighborhoods. This most recent round of violence started over the weekend. Now President Biden is condemning the Hamas attacks on Israel, calling them an act of sheer evil. We now know Americans are among those taken hostage by Hamas. White House national security officials say 20 Americans are unaccounted for after this weekend's attack, and 14 Americans have been killed. During his 10-minute speech, the president said the people in Israel have experienced pure evil at the hands of Hamas. He urged Israel's prime minister to minimize civilian casualties in the Gaza Strip. It's a densely populated area, and as Israel sets out to destroy Hamas, people who have no connections to the terrorist group are in danger. Now the Biden administration is organizing with other countries on a plan to offer a safe exit out of Gaza for civilians. Under that plan, Palestinian civilians and Americans in Gaza would escape through a southern corridor leading into Egypt.
So in this moment, we must be crystal clear. We stand with Israel. We stand with Israel. And we will make sure Israel has what it needs to take care of its citizens, defend itself, and respond to this attack. There's no justification for terrorism. There's no excuse.
During his remarks, President Biden said he's directing his team to deploy additional experts on hostage recovery efforts to bring those Americans back home safely. Right now, Congress isn't able to do much about what's happening in Israel because the House doesn't have a speaker.
Today, Republicans will be voting for who they want to fill the role. On the Republican side, Ohio Representative Jim Jordan and Louisiana Representative Steve Scalise are both up for the role. Democrats are also putting forward Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. It is possible none of these options will get enough support. They need 217 votes. Last time around, it took 15 rounds of voting to elect Kevin McCarthy.
Republican Congressman George Santos is facing new charges this morning. He's accused of stealing the identities of donors and running up thousands of dollars in fraudulent charges on their credit cards. He pleaded not guilty to 13 federal charges back in May, but this new round of charges basically replaces the earlier case against him. It brings the total to 23 charges against him. The new indictment is wider in scope and provides new details about Santos's alleged efforts to personally profit through his campaign. He says he will not resign from Congress.
New this morning, a man who used to live in Colorado is going to prison for his role in the January 6th Capitol riot. Isaiah Farnsworth was sentenced to 3 months in prison for destruction of government property. Farnsworth was living in Broomfield at the time. Now he lives in Tennessee. Court documents say he posted a video of himself outside the Capitol on Facebook before going inside. Then he breached the door to an office and left the Capitol. Farnsworth pleaded guilty in May, and after his prison sentence, he will be on 3 years of supervised release.
Developing this morning, 3 people are in the hospital after a stabbing at a hotel converted into a homeless shelter in Denver. This happened at the Comfort Inn on Quebec Street. Police say 2 of the victims are adults. The other is under 18 years old. They're all expected to survive. Police say all the victims were living there. Police do not have a suspect in custody and don't know if the victims knew the person who stabbed them.
Almost 2 weeks after a 15-year-old was killed in a parking lot at Southlands Mall, Aurora police have said they have now arrested a teenage suspect. Raphael Valine was shot and killed on September 30th. Police say the 16-year-old suspect turned himself in on Monday, but police are still looking for more suspects. They believe 5 people were involved and several fired their guns. Police are not releasing the name of the teen they arrested because he is under 18 years old. He's being held on charges of second-degree murder and aggravated robbery. Police are asking if you have any information to call Metro Denver Crime Stoppers.
The search for a missing trail runner in Rocky Mountain National Park is over for now. 49-year-old Chad Palanche set out from the East Inlet Trailhead on September 27th, but no one has heard from him since. Several search and rescue agencies spent nearly 2 weeks trying to find him with drones, helicopters, dog teams, ground crews. Even though the search is suspended, the investigation will continue. Palanche is still considered a missing person. If you have any information, you can call the tip line at the number on your screen.
A mother in Fort Collins wants the driver who hit and killed her son in January to face charges, but the district attorney has already said no, citing there isn't enough evidence to prosecute him. The mom disagrees. Jason Talline's mom, Patricia, believes the bus driver was careless. Now she's filed a rare motion to convince a judge the DA's office made the wrong decision. If she wins, a special prosecutor would take over that case.
And I want this wrong righted as much as it can be. I can't bring him back, but the person that killed him has to be held accountable.
Patricia's attorney says the bus driver was going too fast and failed to see where he was going. He believes the evidence supports a charge of careless driving resulting in death. It will be several weeks before a decision is made.
It's 6:07 right now. The U.S. Coast Guard has recovered the remaining debris from the Titan submersible, which imploded during a tour of the Titanic back in June. The debris includes what is believed to be human remains, along with more wreckage. It was taken to a U.S. port to be analyzed as part of the investigation into what caused the implosion. All 5 people on board died. OceanGate, the company that owns the sub, suspended operations after the disaster.
Right now, the American Red Cross says the U.S. blood supply is critically low. The Red Cross says donations have dropped now nearly 25% since August. Months of weather issues have caused many blood drives to be canceled, and a busy travel season also straining the supply. On top of that, the Red Cross says fewer blood drives are being hosted at high schools and colleges, so now they're asking schools to bring those drives back. Experts say they hope to see a turnaround this school year.
This morning, retired Olympic gold gymnast Lou Retton is fighting for her life in the ICU. Her daughter posted on Instagram saying she's not able to breathe on her own because of a rare kind of pneumonia. Retton became a household name during the 1984 Olympic Games in Los Angeles. She was the first U.S. woman to earn an Olympic gold in the individual all-around event. She was inducted into the International Gymnastics Hall of Fame in 1997. Her daughter says she doesn't have insurance, so they're crowdfunding to help pay for the hospital bills. At last check, they had raised more than $140,000.
And one thing you want to know about the weather today is kind of a transition day as we look at the temperatures we're expecting along the front range, mostly in the 70s under partly cloudy skies, but then afternoon showers and thunderstorms develop. Tomorrow, much cooler, only in the 50s to around 60 degrees with scattered off and on storms.